Hello, my name is Brett Piloki and my project is on the Kinzua Bridge. The bridge was constructed in 1882 to carry coal to steel plants. When it was completed, it was the tallest and longest rail bridge in the world, and sometimes was referred to as the eighth wonder of the world. In 1900, the original bridge was removed and replaced with a steel structure to accommodate heavier trains. To save time, the anchor blocks and their cast iron bolts were not replaced. In the picture, you can see the new towers being installed in place of the old ones. In 2003, an F1 tornado hit the bridge, roughly at its center. It's estimated the bridge oscillated 4 to 5 times in a 20-second period before failing. Fortunately, no one was hurt by that collapse due to the bridge being under construction at the time. It was determined that the anchor bolts were the point of failure. The assumption that the bolts would never see a large tensile load proved to be false. In this project, I'll determine the initial crack size caused by corrosion and if steel bolts could have saved the bridge. These are the assumptions I made to solve this complex problem. Many are simplifications while the rest are based on material properties. The main assumption being that the bolts fail before their plastic yield point. I feel this is justified due to the small number of cycles and the brittle nature of the material. To find the initial crack size, I analyzed engineering drawings of the bridge to find reference areas for the force of wind calculations. I calculated the crack size for plastic failure of the bolts and made my final crack size slightly smaller. The initial crack size was determined to be 0.0148 millimeters. To survive the tornado, I calculated the structure must survive at least 9 cycles. When I derived initial crack length, I was able to determine that if steel bolts fail due to brittle fracture around their plastic yield length, it can sustain 77 cycles. It is possible that the bridge could have been destroyed anyway, but the bolts wouldn't have been the source of failure. Here are my references for this project.